Hello, I'm Sadia Chaudhary, and today I'm going to present the work on the unavoidability of adversarial examples. This work was part of my master's thesis research, which I completed earlier this year under the supervision of Dr. Ruth Arner. To start off, the goal in adversarial learning is to make the predictor accurate and robust to slight perturbations of the input data. Almost 10 years ago now, it was first shown that well-performing deep neural networks can misclassify images due to slight perturbations. For example, the images here from the work done by Szegedy et al. That first discovered this phenomena, these images were misclassified as ostriches and camels, which are completely different from the original images. So this causes a lot of safety concerns over using such networks, especially in safety critical applications. Hence, these observations have led to a lot of research work in this field. In practice, the main approaches primarily fall into one of these three categories. Firstly, pre-processing, where the training data is manipulated by augmentation with perturbed instances. Then in processing, for example, a successful heuristic called adversarial training that aims to incorporate robustness during the optimization process. And lastly, post-processing, where a predictor's decision boundary is smoothened. The theoretical work, on the other hand, focused on exhibiting unexpected and undesirable phenomena when learning with respect to adversarial loss, such as the drastic gaps in sample complexity and in computational complexity. And most worrisome is the way that adversarial robust loss is set up, which can lead to conflicts with accuracy. So this is what we focus on this work. We wanted to investigate why this conflict with accuracy exists, and hence we propose to reformalize adversarial robustness. This work has been done in the framework of learning theory. Here we have the usual instance space, the label set, predictors hypothesis class, and the predictor. If we look at the examples on the right, we have some data points and a predictor. This we can see that this point here will suffer from binary loss as it is being misclassified by the predictor. The point here will suffer from adversarial loss because the points in the ball around this sample will get labeled differently than the original point. The misclassified point will also be counted towards the adversarial loss. So we can establish from here that a point will suffer adversarial loss if it sits in the margin area that is close to the decision boundary of the classifier, or if the classifier makes a mistakes on the sample. So all the points in the highlighted area will suffer adversarial loss. A lot of prior work has pointed out that even on very simple distributions, optimal predictors with both binary and adversarial robust loss can differ drastically. It can assign different labels to half of the domain. So this means that optimizing the robust loss is inconsistent with optimizing the binary loss. Here is an example of a very simple two-point distributions. The predictor on the left is optimal with respect to the classification loss, and it gives the correct labels, but has very high robust loss since all the points are in the margin area. On the other hand, the classifier on the right side is optimal for the robust loss, even though it misclassifies half of the domain. So if we were to just optimize with the robust loss, we would end up choosing the classifier that is bad in terms of accuracy. Similarly, it was also observed in prior work that if the data distribution is cleanly separable, then one can always choose a robustness parameter so that we don't get this strange phenomena, and that the optimal predictors with respect to the binary and robust loss are the same. However, separability is a very strict condition. In our work, we show that this positive result can be generalized in terms of the new notion that we introduced, the margin rate, if only the labels are deterministic. On the other hand, we also show that if the labels are not deterministic, then the optimal predictors can again differ drastically. So then the question we asked was, if all these strange phenomena are occurring, is there maybe something wrong with how the robust loss is formulated? Is the loss actually capturing what was intended, or should it be reformulated in order to address these strange phenomena? So our main contribution in this work is to propose a new formalization of a robustness requirement. So we think that maybe the problems arise from having uniform robustness radius. Here again, we see that we have very nice separable simple distribution. The orange predictor is optimal if we choose the robustness parameter to be really small, zero point 0.1. But we can argue that we would prefer the green predictor because it maintains a larger margin and does not cut very close to the points. So ideally, we would want the predictor to be as robust as possible everywhere. So we are suggesting a way of formalizing this requirement. To recall, the Bayes predictor is the optimal classifier. However, it is not well defined in areas where there is no support. This can happen if the actual data distribution is sitting on a lower dimensional manifold. So we now define the margin canonical Bayes predictor. In the areas where the Bayes predictor is not unique, the labeling is chosen from the nearest neighbor where the Bayes predictor is unique. So here all three green, black, and yellow predictors are Bayes predictors, but only the black predictor is the margin canonical Bayes predictor. So we now redefine the adversarial loss as a locally adaptive criterion. We say that a point should suffer adversarial loss if the classifier mispredicts the sample, or if there is a ball around this sample where the margin canonical Bayes predictor gives constant label, but the classifier doesn't. The potential issue is that this is not a loss function, as it not only depends on age, x, and y, but it now also depends on the unknown quantity, namely the margin canonical Bayes predictor. So we cannot naturally evaluate this. We then fix this now by introducing an empirical version. We expand the dataset by blowing up every point with a ball of points with constant label, and the radius that is half the distance of the sample to its nearest point with a different label. The balls do not overlap and hence it does not lead to any inconsistency. Now this lets us define the empirical version, the C adaptive robust loss of the predictor on a dataset. So a point is counted towards a loss if the predictor does not label the whole ball the same as the label of the sample. This also leads to a natural data augmentation paradigm for which I'll show some illustrations. So here we set up learning an artificial data set to illustrate the phenomena that we mentioned in this work. Here the data is sitting on a lower dimensional manifold, the S shape, in a higher dimensional space. We see that the network that has just been trained on this data often has areas where the decision boundary of the network cuts very close to the original data manifold. These areas then lead to adversarial examples where slight perturbations lead to different labeling in these regions. So if we now expand the data set with fixed robustness parameters, we see that the decision boundaries still often cuts close to the original data manifold. And we also see inconsistency in the labeling. The labels get mixed up. Whereas in the last picture with the adaptive data augmentation, we see that it does not lead to any inconsistency. The labels do not get mixed up. And we also see that the decision boundaries have shifted quite significantly and are no longer sitting close to the original data manifold, making it more robust. We generated various such data sets, which you can find more in the paper. We also conducted experiments on simple UCI datasets. We see that the adaptive robust expansion always leads to the highest accuracy and has overall good robustness. Whereas for the fixed expansion, it leads to a very high binary losses despite having better robustness. So from these empirical findings, we see that this notion of adaptive robustness is not at odds with accuracy. And we also theoretically prove that the one nearest neighbor classifier remains consistent if it is applied on an adaptively augmented dataset. Lastly, we also proved a formal theorem showing that this type of adaptive augmentation maintains consistency of nearest neighbor predictors. You can also find out more about this in the paper. So to conclude, in this work, we motivated reframing adversarial robustness as a requirement that should be in line with the underlying data distribution. We formally proved that adaptive robust augmentation does not induce any inconsistency with accuracy. And finally, it is important to analyze the degree to which mathematical phenomena are artifacts of a framework for analysis. Thank you.